Welcome in to Bears Weekly, powered by IGS Energy, a Chicago Bears network production. Bears Weekly is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, Athletico Physical Therapy, CDW, Connie's Pizza, IGS Energy, and Miller Lite. Here are your hosts, Jeff Joniak, a.k.a. the Mayor of Bearsville, and his sidekick, Tom the Surfmaster Thayer.
Welcome in, everybody, to a special edition of Bears Weekly here at PNC Studios at Halas Hall. I am Jeff Joniak with Super Bowl winning Bears guard Tom Thayer, and we are here with a live audience, so we always love that. Thank you for being here, everybody, part of the Bears fan base that we admire and love, and I know you're having a lot of fun this year. And we have a special guest tonight. He is arguably one of, if not the best story in the National Football League this season. You might want to call him Mr. November and ready to have a December to remember. How about cornerback, starting cornerback, Nahshon Wright?
Thank you.
Everybody's looking for Mr. Wright, though, you know?
Well, I tell you, and I hope you're not embarrassed by that statement because I know you're micro-focused on what you need to do each and every day to get better and to keep this train moving forward, but you are a great story, and they come around this way very rarely, and I'm sure that you'll appreciate it after the season and beyond, but in living it, do you understand why I would say that?
Yeah, most definitely, but like you said, just kind of trying to stay in the moment and take care of what needs to be taken care of first, and then once it's all said and done, I'll be able to kind of reflect back and enjoy it.
But when you think back as a kid, did you predict this for yourself? Because I as a young kid, I sat in high school and I said, I'm going to set my sights on making it to the NFL, and nothing's going to stop me. And I convinced myself of that. What about you? Yeah,
I think you have to in order to get to this point. I think when I turned 10, I kind of set my eyes on making it to the NFL, and it's been that ever since. And then when I got to the NFL, I wrote a list of goals, and I was able to kind of look back at them maybe a few weeks ago, and I think I'm doing pretty good. I might check everything off.
When was the first time you practiced your autograph? Because that's something that doesn't start the first time you sign an autograph. It starts as a kid.
You know, so I didn't learn cursive until I was in the 9th grade. My grandmother-in-law, she taught me. So from that point forward, I was always working on it. And then I actually changed it. Because when you first come out, you do, like, the Panini deals. And I was signing, like, I would do my whole name. And you doing, like, 5,000 signatures. And that just got tiring. So I kind of shortened it. I just made it my initials. So, but my first time ever practicing it, and it's crazy, I have, like, a short attention span. So in class, like, when I got bored, I would just do it. I would just do my signature and do my signature all over the pages.
So you're doing the Urlacher. Urlacher is just B with a line. So you're doing NW?
NW, and then I run a J through it for my middle name. And
what is your middle name?
My middle name is Jamal, so that's my dad's name, so I always put the J through it.
Very nice, very nice. Well, hopefully, you're experiencing something that everybody dreams about, but you have no idea how it's going to transpire. You had one game with Minnesota. You were in Dallas for 3 years with Al Harris, who's getting so much love and attention from Bears fans for his style and his substance and what he's been through. You've been through, getting in the league in an interesting way for him. You were a high draft pick, a top 100 draft pick, but not really getting playing time. And then, there's a situation here with injuries. And from the time camp started to where we are right now, you have maintained that position. And that, to me, is a fantastic story because you kind of go from somewhere to somewhere big in a big hurry. But it has never been too big for you. Why is that?
I think just the way I was raised, and just I'm super humble. I don't know. I've just never let the moment get too big. Just like I said, just staying in the moment and just working hard. I think I pride myself on working hard and attacking every day. Every day is a new day. So,
what's been your best moment?
Hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
Well, that play in Philadelphia, everybody, was really important.
Yeah,
that was good on the tush push.
I would probably say the tush push.
Yeah.
I think just because of it's been a play that's kind of been frowned upon, and I was able to make the play and get the ball out, and it kind of changed the trajectory of the game because we had just had a turnover, and then I got the strip on the tush push, and we drove the ball down, flip field, and then scored in the fourth quarter. And from there, just kind of we took the game over. So, yeah, I would probably say the tush push.
You know, that play, though, specifically is talked about in every meeting room, offense and defense, every time they're getting ready to play the Eagles, every talk show across the football landscape, they're talking about this is what we have to look out for now. So you're kind of really changed the formula of the way defense plays it and what the offense has to concentrate on if they're going to run that play, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, because, it's funny. So we were watching tape, and I want to say it was Minnesota. They had a guy, line up sideways.
Right.
And there was a little bit of success, but then DA was like, we're not going to do that. We're going to line up. We're going to get some knockback. And we're just not gonna let them get it. And then in the game, I was just so happy to be able to get in and make the play. You
know, I remember when you came aboard, I was standing behind you at training camp, and I just could not believe how big of a defensive back you are. But then reading a little bit about your high school background, because we have some kids in the audience, you played wide receiver and defensive back. Why are we talking to Nahshon Wright, the defensive back, and not Nahshon Wright, the 6'4" wide receiver?
Well, so my junior college that I went to, they ran the ball a lot. So we were going through kind of like spring ball for college. And Coach Beam and the defensive coordinator, Coach Ramos, came up to me and kind of pitched the idea to move the defense. And originally I was playing safety, and then Beam was like, try him at corner. And I moved to corner, and actually, my coach in junior college played in the league. He went to Cal, and then I think he played for the Atlanta Falcons for a year or two. So kind of made the transition easy for me. But, Coach Beam and Coach Ramos from my junior college switched me from receiver to defensive back, and it worked out because I definitely wouldn't have got the ball because we ran the ball so much. So. Yeah, it turned out well. You know,
one of the things we're talking with Nahshon Wright here on ESPN 1000 of the Bears Radio Network at Halas Hall at PNC Studio is that you run routes for the receivers sometimes, and you seal them off at the pass. You have great positioning, and that's led to several interceptions and some near interceptions. Would you agree? Do you think that has come in handy to have been a former receiver and how you attack these variety of weapons that you have to deal with, from speed to size to the quickness, change of direction, and whatnot?
Yeah, for sure. I think the ability to track the ball in the air, especially playing DB, it's a lot harder than people think because the receiver's tracking the ball the minute it's thrown. I'm not necessarily. I don't see the ball until I know the ball's coming. So. We kind of as you guys can see, DBs kind of get their head around late, and they have to kind of catch the flash of it. So, but yeah, having that receiver background definitely helps me be able to track the ball and locate it and then come down with it.
Is there an alert from a receiver to you in the course of their route where you can start paying attention to specific details when I got to turn my head and start concentrating on the flight of the ball? Are there gives that it tells, I guess, in the poker term, that these receivers are giving you?
Yeah, typically their eyes get big. I mean, you have some good receivers that'll give you late hands, so you kind of can't gauge it. But typically their eyes get big, and yes. But also, you kind of like the Pittsburgh one. The guys on the sideline gave me a ball call, and usually when you get a ball call, you know it's coming. So. Very good.
Hey, everybody's got to pitch in and help, pulling on the same rope. We got to take our first break. Nahshon Wright, our guest here at Halas Hall. This is ESPN 1000 of the Bears Radio Network.
Bears Weekly is back, and so are Tom Thayer and Jeff Joniak on ESPN Chicago.
And this segment of Bears Weekly is brought to you by IGS Energy. Dan Briley, Jordan Treadup, Katie Fox among our producers, Kendra Smith in the ESPN studios, and the executive producer of the Bears Radio Network is Eric Ostrowski. With Tom, we've got Nahshon Wright, our starting cornerback, our guest tonight, taking a little break from what would you be doing this evening with if not with us? Going home, taking it easy, going out with the fellas for a bite. What are you doing?
Yeah, right now I'll probably knock out the last bit of film that I need to knock out. Probably play a little bit of the video game, and then once I like to watch the game, so I would have turned the game on and then just hung out with my kids and my fiance.
Very good. How many do you have?
Two daughters.
2 daughters.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got protective instincts already. I can see it on his face.
Oh, yeah. That's a good thing. You know, you talk about watching tape. So when I was playing with the Bears, we had reel-to-reel tape. So we used to have to sit there and wait for one copy to be made, and everybody would have to share it. So the modern-day access to watching tape, whether it's on the plane ride home or on a Thursday night at home, do you take? I mean, is that beneficial to you? Because there's some guys that like to watch a lot of tape, then there's some guys that don't need to watch a lot of tape. Where are you from?
I'm a tweener. I don't like to watch too much because then you'll start to see too much. Because I mean, offenses are getting good and they'll make things look the same and give you different things. So I try to just pick a few plays that I see quite a bit frequently, and when those stars align, I try to go make those plays. But no, I kind of break it up throughout the week, but I'm kind of like in between. I don't watch too much, but I watch just enough to kind of get an idea what I should be getting.
How long were you here before you started feeling comfortable within the system, the terminology, what they're asking you to do, and just Dennis Allen and Al Harris and everybody?
I would say right after OTAs. I was pretty comfortable after OTAs just because in Dallas it was a similar system. Like you said, it was just getting used to the terminology and the use of words and kind of making sure you don't, because sometimes you can mix up the words that are being used in this defense that were previously used in another defense. So I would say after OTAs, I was pretty comfortable.
Well, with Al Harris, what's the secret sauce? Because he's a guy that you can't, unless you're with him every day, I would imagine. I can't get a great feel for what he's actually like when he's not just talking ball. So how would you describe him, and what is his secret sauce to getting this unit to be the number one intercepting team in the National Football League right now?
He's super detailed. We watch. We don't. I would say we don't watch receivers, or like we don't necessarily watch the guy. Like,
right, I've heard this. Like, forget about the name. Just the scheme.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right? And that delineation makes that big a difference, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Because once you understand what they're doing and how they're getting to specific routes, it slows the game down for you as a defender. And like I said, his thing is always to pick like a few plays. And when the stars align, just go get it. And don't second-guess yourself. And, like, if you get a double move off of it, he just say your eyes will take care of the double move. So for him, it's just being super detailed. And we talk about taking the ball away every day. Like, it's an emphasis every day to take the ball away. We have a goal that we have on the board, and then we have our current number of turnovers that we do have. So we definitely got a lot more turnovers to get.
Well, listen, he tells our sideline reporter, Jason McKee, whom you know and have spoken to on the sidelines, that how many he wants per game. So we're always waiting for the number, right?
Yeah.
Last week was 3, got 1. But and some of this, you got to give a lot of credit, obviously, to Dennis Allen also. And tell us about the steel cage.
Yeah.
And these folks probably have not heard of this. A lot of people in the media probably haven't heard about it either, but I know there's a steel cage that he put out there. Tell us what that all is about.
Yeah, so we have a steel cage in our defensive room, and basically after every turnover we get, we sign the ball, and we put it in the cage and we lock it up. And then at the end of the year, we grab them out, and then you kind of just give the balls out to whoever had the turnover. So our goal is to fill it up and to where it doesn't even close. So we've done it once before where it didn't close in Dallas. So
okay, so you've experienced this.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. So it's an Al Harris thing.
Yeah, I'm sure DA probably did something similar, but I want to say Al brought the steel cage thing because we did that in Dallas.
You know, as an ex-player, the only thing I miss is watching the emotions in the post-game locker room and how fun and what a close group of guys you are. Before the Green Bay game, was there any added emotion to Coach Al Harris because he played there? This rivalry is super important to the Chicago Bears and the history of the NFL. But I guess if you go back and you play a team that you played with for a while and had a lot of success, did you notice any difference in the emotion, or was he the same guy?
Nah, he was the same guy, and it was crazy. His birthday was actually the day of the game. But I think he was the same guy. I think he's been back to Lambeau before as a coach, so I didn't see anything different. Maybe he got a little older looking. I didn't see.
He's as cool as a cat. That guy.
For sure.
He really is, man.
Age before your eyes in Lambeau. So your first experience, because I talk a lot about the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, something I grew up with my whole life and played in it. How was that atmosphere? Was it an awesome feeling for you as it was for me? Every time I've been there 81 times, or I mean, I've been in this game
81 games.
81 games. So was it as awesome as it was for me?
Yeah, it kind of had like I've been to the playoffs every year I've been in the league, so.
So you're the good luck charm.
Maybe, but
maybe.
It felt like a playoff game. Like just the build up, everything about it just felt like a playoffs. Even when I first got here, I knew the Green Bay Packers game and the Bears game was serious. Just because, so in our weight room, they say don't mix the green and yellow medicine balls. Like, don't even mix them. And then I went to the Chicago Bulls game last week on Friday, and when they were shooting the free throws, they would put the Green Bay logo on the big board, and everybody just booed.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, I definitely felt it just throughout the week. And then, like I said, on game day, there was it was a playoff feel.
Yeah. I think it's going to be that way the rest of the season,
for
sure. We're going to take a break. One more segment to go. And Nahshon Wright here at PNC Studios at Halas Hall. Live audience from Magellan, a Bears partner here on ESPN 1000, the Bears Radio Network.
Welcome back to Bears Weekly, a Chicago Bears production on the flagship home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
And this segment of Bears Weekly is brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy. Visit athletico.com to request an in-clinic or virtual appointment and start feeling better tomorrow. Here before a live audience at Halas Hall, PNC Studios, Magellan Corporation. A lot of great fans, young, older, excited group of people that are excited about this team. Nahshon Wright, our special guest here tonight, and thank you for spending all this time with us. A few more minutes, if you may. Mm-hmm. And we got to take a look at what's coming up. It's the Cleveland Browns, a 3-win outfit. I say that only because those are the facts. But the fact is they've got several players on that roster that give you pause, right? And you got to say, hey, this is got treated like a playoff game. I'd imagine that's been the word from Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, everybody in the building. How are you guys mentally ready for this return to Soldier Field, where you're going to be now for 3 of the next 4 games?
I mean, our thing is just to go 1-0, and like you said, and not to look at the record, because the record it does say 3-10, but it's a competitive group. And then I know Ben kind of alluded to it, but Shedeur kind of brings a swagger to that team, and you can kind of see it starting to grow. So just taking it as it is, like it's a game that we need to go win. We're on a quest to 10, and it starts with Cleveland. So we need to get 10 this week.
Do we have to talk about the weather? Do you want to say anything, or just want me to pass it up? Because I when I played for the Bears, we never had an indoor facility, so we are outdoors every day, regardless. I think it is beneficial that you guys practice outdoors because it does get you more acclimated to it. Do you feel like you're getting knowing not to wear too much on game day.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing you really got to be prevented from wearing too much. Are you in a good rhythm right now with the clothes that you wear in the cold and how to best fit yourself?
Yeah, so me, like, I don't change what I wear. I wear the same thing that I wear in September.
You're kidding.
So, yeah, like last week I didn't change anything about what I wear. I may have put some, like, Vaseline on, but other than that, when you're out there playing, like, your adrenaline's going.
Correct.
You pretty much good until you kind of stop. And then once you stop, you're on the benches, the heated benches. So it's not that bad. I mean, on game day, I'm not thinking about it at all. I got a job to do. So.
Oh, I love this guy. Yeah, that is a powerful statement right there. Because, hey, even the best of them, when it gets nasty along the lakefront and you got below zero wind chills, I still remember, I just talked about it on Watto and Sylvie. I'll never forget the Michael Vick game. He came here to Soldier Field on a night game with Atlanta, and you could tell he didn't want to play. You know, it's just one of those. And so hopefully you see that they're a cold weather team too, so it may be a moot point. But in terms of what they have to offer with Shedeur, they do push it more down the field than they did with Dylan Gabriel. And so I would think Jerry Jeudy is top of mind right now. I
mean, every guy is.
Yeah, there you go.
They got a pretty good group that's pretty fast, and then they have the rookie tight end who's coming along.
Harold Fannin.
Well. Yeah, he's coming along pretty well. So yeah, and like you said, Shedeur. I think Shedeur trusts his arm, and he's definitely gonna let it hang.
So you're going to be going to the Bay Area too. We're not jumping ahead, but I just want to emphasize because the man is from Oakland. We'll be playing the 49ers in a couple weeks. But coming into basically your area of the country where you grew up and lived your life with your brother Rajon, and you have other brother as well. But what will that mean to you going back to play in the Bay Area as a starter for the Chicago Bears?
Man, it'll mean a lot. I've been to Levi's twice and was inactive both games.
Okay.
All of my family's 49ers fans. My dad was.
Okay.
So I actually have something I'm going to do for my dad on that game. But it'll mean a lot. I got a lot of people coming. People texting, like my family texting me now. They getting a little tailgate ready. So I'm going to have a lot of people there.
It's kind of a neat stadium to go out there and play in, especially to be around your family like that. I know it's not added pressure on you. It's just added excitement. It's just like this week's game. You know, there's not added pressure. It's added excitement because the Bears are in the conversation of, I'll say it to Jeff, playoffs. I won't say it to you. But that's what makes it exciting because that's what we all live for. Every Bears fan throughout. I was born a Bears fan in 1961. You know, a noon start against Cleveland. There's nothing better to do this weekend.
Tom was watching right out of the womb in 1961.
I was. You know, I remember 1986 we opened up against the Cleveland Browns, and I gave up a sack that game against an ex-basketball player, Sam Clancy, and it's still in my mind. And that's the kind of stuff that will stick in your mind when you're in your 60s and you're still thinking about the good plays that you made. That's exciting to think about. So I think there will be a lot of exciting plays this week. And the variety of receivers that Cleveland has, you know, you could be covering a guy from Jeudy to that Fannin, and they're all something different about them.
How would you, we'll let you go after this, how would you describe your secondary right now? There's so many different types of players, guys being asked to step in, guys coming in and out of the lineup because of injury and whatnot. You might get Tyreek back this week. Just what that's like. How would you describe this group?
Man, I think we're super competitive, hungry, and like you said, we've had guys in and out the lineup. You got a guy like Nick who steps up every week.
Nick McLeod,
yeah, who's not necessarily like when his number's called, he does what he needs to do. And I would just say we're super competitive, just a hungry group, and we trying to go out there every week in, week out to make plays. And when we're out there, like I think that's all on our mind is to make plays and win the game because we preach that the game is won and lost on the back end, whether they run it or they throw it. We're the last line of defense. We're the ones that got to get the ball down if it breaks, and we're the ones who got to take it out the air if it's thrown. So we try to put the defense on our back as much as we can, and I think that's just the attitude that we have, and I think that's the reason why we go out and we make the plays we do make.
Well, and you made a ton just by yourself as well, with the help of everybody else, of course. Pass rush marries with coverage, but 8 takeaways, 5 interceptions, a pick 6, one of the biggest plays of the season in Philadelphia on the forced fumble and fumble recovery, and allowing just 53% completion percentage at your position, which is a really good number. So keep it going. And we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your time. Nahshon Wright, Bears starting corner. When we come back, we will hear a conversation I had with Colston Loveland, the Bears rookie tight end. It's coming up next here on ESPN 1000 of the Bears Radio Network.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer chatting about the Bears. It must be Bears Weekly.
Well, if it's Bears Weekly,
it must be the home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
This segment of Bears Weekly is brought to you by IGS Energy here at Halas Hall. Special edition of Bears Weekly at the PNC Studios here with the Bears, one of their team partners, Magellan, to enjoy the evening. Just heard with Nahshon Wright, outstanding player for the Bears, outstanding season. Had some great conversation. Now we're going to switch it up a little bit and talk to one of the best rookies in the NFL this season for his all-around game. It's Colston Loveland, our Bears Game Day live feature on Fox 32 Chicago Sunday morning at 10:30, live from Soldier Field. He's tied for first among rookie tight ends with 4 touchdowns. This will be our player profile. Here's a portion of our conversation, which begins, of course, with the idea that he's still 21 years of age.
Yeah, I think I've realized that for sure. But it's always been like, I feel like I've always been young. You know what I mean? I went to college at 17. So it's all kind of been moving fast. So it's not new, really, I guess.
Because you went to Michigan at early entry, right?
Yeah.
Why did you do that, by the way?
Just to get a head start. Yeah, because I wanted to play freshman year, and that's the best chance to do that was doing that.
So you were visualizing this path. There's no question about it.
100%.
Tell me when and why you felt you could carve a yellow brick road to the National Football League.
I would say been a dream since can't remember. But really when I realized, because freshman year, I like basketball more than football. Sophomore year, I had a really good football year in football. I had 1,300 yards receiving or something like that. So I was playing receiver at the time. I was all right, this actually could, go somewhere. But no one ever got recruited out of Gooding.
Right.
Then once junior year offers started coming in, it was all right, yeah, Michigan, Boise State, any of these schools I can go to. People have gone to the league out of here, So, and then the next step was just getting on the field in college, and then things just happened to fall into place.
So Ben Johnson called all 3 you tight ends, and I'm assuming Stephen Carlson should be considered in this as well, as really smart football players. And I think most head coaches would love to have 53 smart football players. But at that time, why is that important, you think, for this particular offense to have really smart football players?
I think it's important because we all work together. You know what I mean? Receivers need to know run game. They need to know points. They need to know which I haven't been in a ton of different offenses, but that's not always the case.
Yeah.
So everyone needs to know. You need to know the play, know your assignment, but also why are we doing this? What looks are we doing this? When are we going to can it? All the different possibilities and knowing why we're doing stuff, not just how to do it. And I think a lot, not just the tight ends, but a lot of people on this team are really smart football players, obviously. So I think, Coach Johnson helps. He makes sure that we're on our P's and Q's. So
But I even want to jump in there because I find him to be brilliant, and I'm not in your rooms. Have you learned football in a whole different way with Ben Johnson and the rest of the offensive coaches?
Yeah, no, shout out, like I said, the rest of the offensive coaches and Coach Dre as well. Just the detail, the little things, that coming out of college you didn't even really think about a whole lot. But now it's wow, okay, every little thing matters, and I'm starting to see that with, Coach Johnson and the whole staff, and just continuing to grow my knowledge, and it's been great.
Your welcome to the NFL moment is?
I don't know. I got put on my butt against the Giants. I was laid off the ball. I got put on my butt. I wouldn't even say that was a welcome to the NFL, though.
but it's something that's crossed your mind immediately.
Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah.
Right.
And just seeing like those guys you watch growing up, you know, and that's super cool.
Yeah, you know, most guys I ask that question to, and I don't ask everyone. They always come. It's about being hit. You know, it's like a hit that you remember.
Yeah.
Okay, it jars you, but you know, you're a big dude, so you're delivering hits as well, and your blocking has been incredible, outstanding. At your size, how challenging is it so that you're not playing with high pads?
Definitely challenging for sure. And I'm always, Coach Dre's always on me about it. And, you know, I see it myself, even in practice and stuff. You can get high a lot of the times and just no power, you know, no force coming out of there. So that's something I'm continuously working on. But yeah, I think like you hit on the head, it's just continuing to grow within it, and knowing that if I do have the right technique and I do the right steps and foot placement and everything, that I can win a block. So.
Take us back to Cincinnati for the play.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've had time to think about it or just reflect on it a little bit, what sticks out about that whole moment?
Really, what sticks out to me is like the fight and finish that we had. You know, thinking we had it sealed to, oh wow, you know, we got 20 seconds or whatever, and we're down however many, like, chance we could lose this game. But the offense goes out there, Caleb goes out there, Coach Johnson, everyone's, you know, confident in each other and in themselves. And in crunch time, man, you wouldn't want it any other way. Like, you dream about stuff like that. So, I mean, all glory to God for that. You know, I've been waiting on a breakout game or waiting to just help the team make a play, you know, help win a game. So that was super cool.
Yeah, I remember interviewing after that game, and I think we both said, I think you even gave it a look like, is anybody chasing me or what?
Yeah.
Well, let me get to the end zone.
Yeah.
Right? You feel maybe like you weren't running in slow motion, but maybe you felt like it was slow motion, like a dream.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, don't catch me.
In one place.
Right.
Yeah.
Caleb paid you a heck of a compliment. I think it was last week. About your size. He says he's a safe, reliable target, smooth, but this is the part that gets me. Speaks to me very easily as a wide receiver looking tight end. You know, you run routes like a wide receiver route tree, like you're running very well on that. When you hear him say that, speaks to me. I mean, that to me is the greatest compliment at quarterback, because it's all about trust, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. And that's always what it's been about for me. And I think at the tight end position, Cole, and I think those guys could agree, is the safety blanket, you know, be that reliable target. Like, okay, he might have me strapped here, you know, I mean, it might not be open, but, you know, just give me a chance and I'm going to give you a chance and let you know that the ball won't be in harm's way, you know. So, yeah, I appreciate anything to make the quarterback's job easier. You know, we love to do that, and then they make our job a lot easier.
And you have a 70% catch rate, so that's
nice.
Good.
Nice.
That does matter.
Keep that going,
Yeah, that's the most important
thing.
thing.
Shout out Caleb, though.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, you guys are all growing together.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like this is like a fabric starting to knit something special?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has been from the off season. Just watching it all kind of gel together. And even like out of the building, you know, and away from football, just like how the locker room is very tight knit, and you know, I really close with really everyone on the team, I would say. So it's you can feel the camaraderie and you can feel things going in the right direction. Just got to continue to, you know, we can't get complacent and happy with being, and you know, we got to keep going.
You're a deep man of faith. Tell me about that journey.
Yeah, it was always been, like, growing up, always been to church. When I was younger, my parents are religious, grandparents were. So I was kind of born into it, but fell out, like, middle school, high school, still, you know, praying, not in the Bible as much as I should have been. And when I went to Michigan, we had Pastor Robbie Emery. He was our team pastor, and then, you know, just having chapels, sermons, got more into it, got into my Bible more, and the more I did that, the better my life was, the less stressed I was, the better I played on the field. And so it was like, all right, like, you know, this makes sense. Let me just stick to this. Although it's hard, you know, to constantly stay away from sin and be fully in faith. But it's taken me here, and it's definitely helped me and my family, I think, throughout the way. Just having something to lean on, that rock to lean on, and that sense of humility, you know, that it's bigger than just me and what I've accomplished. And yeah, I think it's going great. Still got a long ways to go in my faith.
I think you were quoted as saying you loved Ben before you ever met Ben. Is that true? Because of your watching the Lions?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
And what about him did you love without ever meeting him? Because meeting him is a whole different experience, of course.
Mm-hmm. It was, I was right over there in Michigan. We went to a couple games too, but it was just like all the stuff the trick plays, the going for it on fourth down all the time. Like he just had that juice and that energy. You could even see on the TV, and just not scared. Like he was kind of the bully is what it kind of seemed like in a good way,
Yeah.
And so, I loved it. I was like, this guy, he's not scared. He ain't scared to do whatever he wants to do, he's going to get it done.
Don't be scared. You can't be scared in the National Football League. I always have Tom analyze these interviews because you're not sitting there with us, but interesting journey for him and how he views it. But again, you think about these young men, and he's only 20. He's still 21.
Well, I think the interviews are great exposure to somebody that we don't know a lot about, and hopefully we're going to get to know a lot about over the next 10 or 15 years. He's a super intelligent young athlete that puts a lot of work into his craft. He recovered from an injury, was ready to go when they want him to go in training camp. He's been able to come in and compete at a really high level in the tight end position, which is one of the most difficult positions on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that he's got such a tremendous upside in just a positive demeanor for a locker room that you're trying to build that repetitively winning culture. And I think he's going to be a big, big part of the future success of the Bears.
And since week 6, the leading receiver on the football team is Colston Loveland.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of not surprising because the way that Colson got to know Ben Johnson and what Ben likes to do, and that's throw to the tight end. And then you're kind of working in a program for the first year in this program with Caleb. And so Cole's not getting cheated. Colston's getting targets. So everybody has a hand in the operation, and you never know. In the next 5 weeks, it could be a different player that's the most targeted and has the most yards per receiving.
And I just don't want to emphasize the ability to catch the ball and do something with it afterward. He's an outstanding route runner. He really is. He runs routes like a wide receiver. He's sure-handed. But the blocking, he and Cole Kmet, when they're doing what they do, and it's a variety of different concepts in the run game, it's like a piece of art when they're all working with the offensive line and receivers.
It is. And Jim Dre, who he refers to as the tight ends coach, does a really nice job because a lot of these assistant coaches, they're like pitching coaches on a baseball team. No two guys are exactly the same. So Cole's a little different than Colston, and then you got Durham Smythe's different than the other two. Stephen Carlson's different. So you're kind of working with a different template for each guy, but each of them are successful in their requirements as a blocker.
Will they be introducing themselves to Myles Garrett at some point on Sunday?
Of course, repeatedly. And listen, the thing about Myles Garrett, they're not going to be in a one-on-one responsibility with Myles Garrett, but are they going to chip him really hard before the tackle can control him? Yeah, but they're all going to have a hand. Maybe it's going to be an in-motion cut block, something like that. So, let's see it happen.
You're devilish, aren't you? You love those cut blocks.
Listen, I just need a dominant defensive player with their head on the swivel at all times. I don't want them to know where they're going to get hit from. And that's the biggest distraction that you can present to a dominating defensive
Perfect
player.
timing to tell your story once again. Story time with Tom is like Christmas carols that we hear once a year. It's worthy of listening to again. It's a classic. It's Bruce Smith. Tell the story about a great pass rusher like Bruce Smith taking on your 85-era Bears and what went down right before kickoff.
Well, they had a defensive lineman at nose guard, and then they had Bruce Smith, who was a defensive end, and I was out there snapping punts. And so before the game started, there's usually not a lot of people on the field. So I saw him and the defensive lineman. I'll think of his name in a second.
Is it Fred Smerlis?
Yeah, Fred Smerlis. Yeah. There you go. So they came walking out of the tunnel of the locker room of where Buffalo dresses, and they kept coming a direct angle at me, and so I'm going, this is kind of weird. This usually doesn't happen. So they came out and they confronted me right in the field, and they told me that I'm a dirty player and I got to stop cutting guys and that there's no place in the game for all that kind of stuff. And so I go, all right, I got you, okay. And then they go back in the locker room. So I went in the locker room and I told Coach Dick, I said, Coach Dick, you got to call a counter 28 pinch OT. And it's a block where I pull to the left, and Bruce Smith is my responsibility. And so the first play of the game, he called it, came around the corner, cut his feet out from underneath him, and the battle was on. And then that year, Fred Smertlis went on to write a book and called me the dirtiest player in the history of the NFL, which I think is really complimentary because it's exactly what you want other guys thinking is you want to make sure that they're concerned about what you do. I wasn't the only guilty party. Every one of us on the offensive line,
I love that story.
We did it equally.
Because first thing they do then, they're not worried about putting their hands here. They're worried about putting them down here to protect themselves, and you battle one.
Right. That's taking their
check.
Taking their eyes off the field.
All right, one last segment, and it's a doozy. It's a doozy, ladies and gentlemen. If you have or have not listened to Bears Weekly, the fifth segment is always reserved for Tom's Thoughts. They're coming up next on ESPN 1000, the Bears Radio Network.
Welcome back to Bears Weekly on the Bears Radio Network. Here's your host, the voice of the Bears, Jeff Joniak.
Thank you very much. Here at PNC Studios, a live audience. Bears partner Magellan and some of their friends, family, relatives, I don't know. They're all here enjoying it. Tom signed all their footballs.
Do you know what Magellan did?
He sailed somewhere.
Circumnavigated the globe. First one ever.
Tom has more information than you might think. And it comes out at the most interesting times. The one thing that drives me crazy about this guy, though, he'll whistle Christmas songs in July, or it's just...
There's never a wrong time for a Christmas tune, right?
It's like we'll be on the plane, and I'm trying to sleep, and here he goes. He starts. Anyway, this is a great segment. It's Tom's Thoughts. Before we do that, though, we got to remind you that this segment of Bears Weekly brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy. Visit athletico.com to request an in-clinic or virtual appointment and start feeling better tomorrow. These Bears players and players in the National Football League give back so much, and I meant to bring this up when Nahshon was with us, but the Bears bearing gifts in concert with Bears Care at Leo High School this week with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and Nahshon was there to help out families. During the holiday season, there was a bunch of community events this week at Halas Hall and beyond. They went out in the community, and they do a great job. So tip of the cap to everybody in CR and this organization, and for the players that are willing to do it.
You see the bins out there for the coat drive as well. Tony Medellin, head equipment manager. They do a great thing all winter.
All right, what's on your mind, Tom? I don't have them. Usually I set you up, so you have the floor.
Well, you know,
you have 2
7,
minutes.
6'7".
Oh, don't tell
seven,
me you know about
6'7".
6'7".
Everybody knows about that.
Come on.
So
you?
December 24th, 2022, 7 degrees. Coldest game Myles Garrett has ever played in. He had no sacks. So I know we talked a lot about the temperature this week. So if it can stay in the single digits, that's going to be good for the Bears.
All right, I like that already, Tom. You're on a roll.
So next one is, right now it's okay to believe the hype. But now you got to go out and prove it. Because you go back and you look at the statistics and all the analytics, the Bears are favored this week. It's a conversation that eventually has to start, and it's got to carry throughout the regular season. So I'm okay to start it. I've been super reluctant to talk about the playoffs and everything, but now you're being kind of featured and mentioned in those sentences. Start believing it and make it happen. And then the last one is Colonel Sanders is the only one I want cooking on Sunday. Hey, when you think of Shador outside the pocket, he has got a strong arm and he gets in there. So you got to keep Sanders inside the pot. You know, KFC, Colonel Sanders.
No special recipe.
No special recipe.
No special seasoning.
That's right.
Just get to him. He is pushing the ball down the field. That's something they're definitely doing more of. Dylan Gabriel had one pass play of 25 yards or more this year. He's already got 9.
Yep. So
that's something to watch.
Yeah, you got to keep
in the last half minute. What about their running game? because Quinshon Judkins is he's a bad man too.
Well, yeah, he is a really good running back, very strong. They talk a lot about Kyle Monangai and his contact balance. The same thing you have with this young running back.
But how about our swift and mighty backfield? DeAndre Swift and mighty Monangai. That'll be a factor as well. Two good third down teams offensively and defensively. Should be a great time. Thank you for being here, folks from Magellan, and thank you for listening. Thanks to Nahshon Wright and all our producers. Coming up next, ESPN's Amber and Ian. This has been Bears Weekly on the radio home of the Chicago Bears, ESPN Chicago. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Chicago Bears Network presentation of Bears Weekly, hosted by the mayor of Bearsville, Jeff Joniak, and Surfmaster Tom Thayer. Podcasts are available on the Chicago Bears official app, brought to you by Verizon and Apple Podcasts. Bears Weekly has been brought to you by Miller Lite.